Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Dr. Nohafiza and everyone. My name is Muhammad Luqman Azim bin Muhammad Yusuf Lim, and for this assignment, I serve as the project manager in our group project titled Improving Stakeholder Coordination in the MRT2 Elevated Project. Today, I would like to reflect on my contribution to the project, the influence of team diversity on our decision-making process, the ethical and professional values that I learned, and one area that I would like to improve in future teamwork experiences. As a project manager, my responsibility was not only to complete my assigned task, but also to coordinate the overall progress of the project. I was responsible for ensuring that each team member understood their role, monitoring deadlines, organizing discussions, and making sure that our final report was coherent and connected. At the beginning of the project, I thought the biggest challenge would be understanding the technical aspects of the MRT2. However, as the progress, I realized that managing people and coordinating ideas was actually more challenging than the technical analysis itself. Each team member represented a different stakeholder perspective, such as MRT Corp, government agencies, contractors, and engineers. Because of this, everyone naturally focused on different priorities. My role was to ensure that all these perspectives were heard and integrated into one complete analysis. For example, when discussing solutions to improve stakeholder coordination, some members focus on technological solutions such as the centralized digital information platform, while others emphasize communication management and stakeholder engagement. As project manager, I facilitated discussions and helped the team combine these ideas into a practical action plan rather than selecting only one approach. This experience taught me that leadership is not about making all the decisions alone. Instead, leadership is about creating an environment where different people can contribute effectively toward a common goal. One of the most valuable lessons from this project was understanding how diversity influences decision making. Before taking this course, I viewed diversity mainly as a differences in gender, background, or culture. However, through this project, I realized that diversity also includes differences in professional knowledge, experiences, responsibilities, and way of thinking. In our project, each stakeholder had different priorities. For example, MRT Corp focused on project success and stakeholder coordination, while government agencies focus on regulation, safety, and public interest. Contractors were concerned about project schedules, cost, and efficiency. Engineers prioritized technical quality, feasibility, and long-term performance. At times, these priorities appeared to conflict with each other. For instance, contractors may want faster project completion to reduce costs, while engineers may require additional inspection to ensure quality and safety. Government agencies may insist on strict compliance procedures, even if they slow down project progress. Initially, I viewed these differences as obstacles. However, after deeper discussion, I realized that these differing viewpoints actually improve the quality of our decisions. Because multiple perspectives were considered, our recommendations become more balanced and realistic. Instead of focusing only on speed or cost reduction, we propose solutions that also address communication, accountability, ethics, and sustainability. This experience helped me understood an important principle of management. Good decisions are not always the fastest decisions. Sometimes taking the time to listen to different perspectives leads to better outcomes and fewer risks in the long term. As a future engineer and manager, I believe this lesson will be extremely valuable because real-world projects involve people with different interests, expectations, and expertise. Another important lesson that I learned from this project was the importance of ethics and professionalism in project management. When studying the MRT project, we analyzed conflicts between cost, time, quality, ethics, and sustainability. One example that stood out to me was the conflict between completing a project quickly and maintaining safety standards. In reality, project teams often face pressure to meet deadlines. When schedules become tight, there may be temptation to skip inspection, reduce quality checks, or accelerate work processes. However, through this project, I learned that ethical leadership requires making decisions that prioritize safety and public welfare, even when those decisions may require more time or resources. As a management student, this was a very important realization for me. Before this project, I often associated project success with completing work on time within budget. Now I understand that true project success also includes ethical responsibility, transparency, accountability, and sustainability. I also learned the importance of professional communication. Throughout our group discussions, there were moments when team members had different opinions about causes of stakeholder coordination problems and the most effective solutions. Rather than dismissing these opinions, we listened respectfully and discussed the reasoning behind each suggestion. This taught me that professionalism is not only about technical competence, but also about respect, empathy, and effective communication. In a professional working environment, people will inevitably disagree. What matters is how those disagreements are managed constructively. Another area that significantly impacted my learning was understanding the complexity of large infrastructure projects. Before conducting this analysis, I did not fully appreciate how many stakeholders are involved in a project like MRT2. The project includes project owners, contractors, engineers, government agencies, consultants, utility providers, and even local communities. Each stakeholder has different expectations and responsibilities. As a result, decision-making becomes more complex than simply choosing the best technical solution. I learned that the project managers must constantly balance competing requirements such as cost versus quality, time versus safety, sustainability versus budget constraint, and stakeholders' expectation versus project objectives. What impressed me most was how project management tools such as the work breakdown structure and linear responsibility chart can help manage this complexity. These tools provide clarity regarding responsibilities, communication channels, and accountability. As a project manager in our assignment, I realized how important structure was organization organization when managing complex projects. Without clear communication and defined responsibilities, misunderstandings can easily occur and negatively impact project performance. If I were to identify one area for improvement, it would be my ability to facilitate discussions and manage differing opinions more effectively. Although I successfully coordinated the project and ensured that tasks were completed, there were moments when discussion became lengthy because of different viewpoints. Looking back, I believe I could have been more proactive in guiding conversation towards solutions, while still ensuring that everyone felt heard and respected. In future teamwork situations, I would like to improve my leadership communication skills, particularly in conflict resolution, active listening, and stakeholder engagement. I believe these skills are essential for effective project management because leaders must not only manage tasks but also manage relationships and team dynamics. In conclusion, I can conclude that this project was much more than an academic assignment for me. It gave me a deeper understanding of leadership, stakeholder management, diversity, ethical decision making, and teamwork. As a project manager, I learned that successful project outcomes depend not only on technical knowledge but also on communication, collaboration, and the ability to balance different perspectives and priorities. The MRT2 case study showed me that diversity can strengthen decision making, ethical values must guide professional actions, and effective stakeholder coordination is essential for project success. Most importantly, I learned that leadership is about bringing people together toward a common goal while respecting and valuing their different perspectives. This lesson will be highly valuable for my future career, and I hope to continue developing these skills as I grow professionally. That's all from me. Thank you for listening.